Okay, so let's take a look at adding and subtracting matrices. Now, to add and subtract matrices, the one thing that we have to make sure of is before we can add or subtract matrices, the dimensions of the matrices have to be the same. So let's just take a look at all three of these matrices. So this matrix here is a 2 by 2. This one is a 2 by 2. And this one is a 3 by 2. So the dimension of a matrix, it's the number of rows by the number of columns. You can see this matrix has 2 rows and 2 columns. 2 rows and 2 columns. This one has 3 rows and 2 columns, so it's a 3 by 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and do matrix A plus matrix B. So this is going to be matrix A plus matrix B. Okay. Alright, so you can see that we're adding matrix A and matrix B together. They're both a 2 by 2 matrix. Since they're the same dimensions, that means we can add them. And to add matrices, all you do is add the corresponding elements. So we'll multiply this element and this element, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Okay? And so we've got 1 plus 2 is 3. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. 2 plus negative 1 is 1. And negative 1 plus 8 is 7. And this would be our answer here. Alright, let's take a look at another example. We've got A plus C, matrix A plus matrix C. So we're going to get 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, plus 6, negative 1, 2, 4, negative 3, 5. Okay. Now if you notice, remember this matrix is a 2 by 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. This one has 3 rows by 2 columns. So you can see here the dimensions are not the same. So to add these is not possible. Okay, so we can't add these because they don't have the same dimensions. Alright, so how about this one? We've got 2A plus 3B. Okay, so notice we have a scalar times A and a scalar times B. Alright, so to do this, we've got, let's write it down, 2 times matrix A and then 3 times matrix B Alright, so to do this, the first thing we're going to have to do is multiply each matrix by its scalar. Alright, so let's do this one first. So the scalar times this matrix, we just take the scalar and multiply it to each term. So this is going to be 2, 2, negative 2, 4, negative 2. I just multiplied the 2 times each term. Plus, and now I have to multiply the 3 to each term in matrix B. So that's going to give me 6, negative 3, and 24. And now you can see here I have a 2 by 2, and I have a 2 by 2. Since the dimensions are the same, I can add the matrices. Alright, so I've got 2 plus 6 is 8, negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5, 4 plus negative 3 is 1, and negative 2 plus 24 is 22. And here's my answer. Alright. Alright, now let's look at subtracting matrices. And subtracting matrices, it's pretty much like adding matrices. The dimensions have to be the same. So let's go ahead and write the matrices down. So matrix A, that's 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, minus matrix B, which is 2, negative 1, negative 1, 8. Alright, and so I just subtract corresponding entries. And so I have 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus negative 1 is 0. 2 minus negative 1 would be 3. And negative 1 minus 8 would give me negative 9. And that would be my answer. Okay. Let's look at another one, A minus C. Okay. So I have 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, minus 6, negative 1, 2, 4, negative 3, 5. Now you can see this matrix is a 2 by 2. This matrix is a 3 by 2, 3 rows and 2 columns. So you can see the dimensions are not the same. So this one would be not possible. Okay. Alright, so here's the last example. I have 2 times matrix A minus 3 times matrix B. So I have 2 times matrix A minus 3 times matrix B, which would be 2, negative 1, negative 3, 8. Alright. So first thing I need to do is multiply each matrix by its scalar. So I multiply the 2 times each term, and then I'll multiply the minus 3 times each term. So that's going to give me 2, negative 2, 4, negative 2. I just multiplied the 2 times each term. Now let's multiply the minus 3 times each term. Alright, so that's going to be negative 6, 3, 3, negative 24. Okay, and then this would be a plus. If you multiply through by minus 3, this sign's going to be a plus. Okay, the other way that you could do it, and I'm going to go back to the plus, but let me just show you. If you multiply by a positive 3 and say, okay, that's 6, negative 3, negative 3, 24, you would have to keep the minus sign. Okay, that would be the difference. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it as like I did first, where I'll multiply through by a negative 3. So negative 3 times 2 would be the negative 6. Negative 3 times negative 1 would be positive 3. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. And negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. And then I just add the corresponding terms. So 2 plus negative 6 is negative 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. And negative 2 plus negative 24 is negative 26. And this would be my answer. Alright, so I hope this video's helped. I hope you'll check out my other videos, and if you like them, you can subscribe. Alright, thanks.